Hey, this is Tuhon Aditya and welcome to day 9 of our Kali solo training series. Today we're going to be having a look at single knife. The first thing we're going to be doing is re-looking at our diamond footwork with our basic angles. So whether you choose saksa or you choose pakal or this ice pick grip, we're going to be doing our diamond footwork, both our single step and our double step with angle 1, angle 2. So I'm going to go angle 1, angle 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 to the left side, angle 1, angle 2, angle 1, angle 2, angle 1, angle 2, angle 1, angle 2. Then double step. Now again, when I'm doing the single step, I am doing 2 strikes, 2 slashes with every step. When I'm going to do the double step, I'm going to do 1 slash on every step, making sure that I'm moving off center line and then coming back on center line, and I'm not just walking through the center. We're going to be doing 2 sets of 3 minutes each, 1 set with the knife in your right hand, 1 set with the knife in your left hand. If you want to work on saksa and pakal in the same day, then do 4 sets, 2 sets in saksa, 2 sets in pakal, alternating hands between each set. Next, we're going to be re-looking at our thrust and slash drill, which is that every thrust is followed by a slash and every slash is followed by a thrust, except last week we did it in saksa. This week we're going to be doing it in pakal or the ice pick grip. So last week in saksa we started with a thrust. Here we're going to start with a slash. It's still going to be the same targets of low, medium, high, but we're going to start with a slash. So for the beginning, I'm going to use my open triangle footwork. After you're comfortable with this, you can switch to any other footwork you want, ranging footwork, diamond footwork, anything you want. But just while we get comfortable with it, I'm going to use my open triangle footwork. So I'm going to step out. As I step out, I'm going to slash low, thrust, then slash medium, thrust, slash horizontal high, thrust back down, slash low, thrust, slash medium, thrust back, slash horizontal high, thrust back down. One way of thinking about the thrusts in this, because they're going to feel a little bit awkward, is from the slash I'm going to think of the thrust almost as hooking motions back. Slash, thrust. It could be maybe as an angle 1 coming, you're intercepting it and using the hook feature that you find in pakal. So you can think of the thrust as a hook, or it can even be a thrust. The time to transition from the slash to the thrust is generally somewhere around once you've slashed across center line. Once you've reached center line, you can start transitioning to a thrust. So slash, once I've reached somewhere near center line, thrust, and then the last slash can be all the way through and then thrust all the way back. So low slash, thrust, medium slash, thrust, high slash, thrust. For this also we're going to be doing 2 rounds of 3 minutes each. We're going to be alternating our hands. So first round is going to be in my right hand, next round is going to be in my left hand. We're going to be sticking with pakal for a bit longer. Now the next drill we're going to be doing is again making use of this hook function or this hook feature that you get once you have the blade in pakal. Again, I prefer the blade being out rather than the edge being in. That's a personal preference of mine. I go into it in a whole other video. I'm going to link that down below. But for now, the edge is going to be out, and I'm going to be utilizing this scooping function or this hooking function into a slash. I'm going to be doing this with my ranging footwork or my diamond footwork. It's really up to you, but again, to keep things simple, I'm going to start with my ranging footwork. So I'm going to scoop and step, slash horizontally across, and then come back with an angle to thrust. Come back, scoop and step, slash, thrust, hook, slash, thrust, hook, slash, thrust, hook, slash, thrust, hook, slash, thrust, double step, hook, slash, thrust, hook, slash, thrust, hook, slash, thrust, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now it's important to remember that you're hooking an attack that's coming down center line. Later on, of course, you can hook an attack that's coming as angle 1 or a low attack also you can be looking to hook. But for now, to keep things simple, this is what I do to help me imagine and to be a bit more consistent, accurate with what I'm doing. I'm imagining a straight punch coming straight down center line. That's what I'm hooking and then coming back with a slash. The other thing to keep in mind is that the thrust that comes back, I do not want a horizontal angle to, I want a diagonal angle to, because this frame, this diagonal frame across my body, oftentimes that's what I'm going to end up using against my opponent. So a diagonal frame is better because it's going to cover more of your opponent's body than a horizontal frame. So as I'm stepping, I'm imagining something's coming down center line, I'm scooping and stepping at the same time, and then I'm cutting across with that cut, that slash, and then I'm thrusting back with an angle 2, pulling back, scoop, slash, thrust. Now you can also do it this way, where you go scoop, slash, thrust all the way through and then come back. That's also applicable. You can either pull that thrust back or you can thrust all the way through. We're going to be doing 2 rounds of 3 minutes each. 1 round in my right hand, 1 round in my left hand. Next, we're going to be doing some improvisation work. Now we have our 3 major thrusting points, which is a low thrust, a medium thrust, and a high thrust. So this drill is going to be combining slashing and thrusting, except it's going to be in a little bit different way than before. And the thrusts are going to be improvised. So you have 3 options, either that low thrust, that medium reverse thrust, or that high horizontal thrust. The basic drill is, I'm going to be going angle 1, angle 2, and then choose a thrust of your choice. So if I go low, then I have to find a way to come back into angle 1 slash, angle 2 slash, and then that's my medium thrust, come back into angle 1, angle 2, high thrust, angle 1, angle 2, low thrust, and I need to find a way from here, whether I go thrust and slash and then bring it back up, or whether I go thrust, pull back, and then slash into angle 1, angle 2. It's about experimenting. How do I transition from different slashes to different thrusts, and how do I transition from these thrusts back to my angle 1, angle 2 slashes. Right now there's no right or wrong way of doing this, because it's an experiment and you're exploring it. As you understand context better and what you're trying to do with partner drills and more experience, you will understand what is a better way of transitioning from a thrust to a slash and what is not. I'm now going to combine this with my diamond footwork. I'm going to have 2 slashes on one step and the thrust on the second step. So I go slash, slash, thrust, slash, slash, thrust, slash, slash, thrust, slash, slash, thrust. Both the single step version and the double step version. Again, there are different ways of coordinating this, but to keep life simple and make life easier, I'm going to have my slashes on one step and my thrust into the other step. Now when I say my thrust on the other step, I also mean the transition from the thrust to the slash. I'm keeping the thrust on a separate count because it gives you a little bit more time to figure out, how do I go from this back to the angle 1 slash, or how do I go from this back to the angle 1 slash. Do I thrust through and slash? Do I thrust, come back, slash? How do I make that transition? We're going to be doing 2 3-minute rounds. Again, please transition, or please work your right hand 1 round and your left hand 1 round. Now let's do some combination work. So building on what we did last week, we're using the clock system. So 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock in front of my head, 6 o'clock in front of my groin, 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. I'm going to be building a combination using the clock face. So if you go 1 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, that's going to be my combination. Now before every combination, we're going to add a jab. Now if I have my knife in saksa, then I can still jab like this. If it's in Pakal, it's much easier. So it's going to be learning to go from that motion to a slashing or a thrusting motion using the clock face. From here I'm going to go jab, 1 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Again I reset back into my original position, jab, 1 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Again reset, jab, 1 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. The footwork you add on to this is up to you. I think last week we did diamond footwork. If this week you want to stay on diamond footwork, that's fine. If you want to add this on ranging footwork, that's fine as well. In ranging footwork, this would be jab, 1 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, jab, 1 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, jab, 1 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, jab, 1 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Making sure that I am jabbing as I step. I don't want to step and then the jab to come. I'm jabbing as I step, then 1 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. We're going to be doing 4 rounds now of 3 minutes each. We're going to be alternating right hand and left hand, as well as this grip and this grip. Lastly, as we always end, we end with some anyo, with some flow. Now you have a bunch of combinations from today and a bunch of combinations from last week. You have your slash slash into thrust slash thrust slash thrust slash, moving about again. You can even be doing the hooking motion in saksa, but using just the back punyo into a thrust, into a slash. The combination that we just did with the knife jab, keeping the movements nice and tight, combining them with my footwork, and again just getting comfortable maneuvering the knife. And flowing with the knife. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you learned from what you saw, please do like and share this video. Please do subscribe to the channel. If you have anything to add to the discussion, leave that in the comments down below. If you have any questions or requests for future videos, please also leave that in the comments down below. All of these things really do help out the school and the channel a lot. A big thanks to all our patrons, and if you would also like to become a patron, please go to check out our Patreon page. A link to that will be down below. Our online classes are up and running. Our residential program is up and running. To enroll for either of them, I'm going to leave an email address in the link down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in the next video.